Like many people before me, I have struggled with my faith. I went through a period when I had difficulty believing that God existed at all. I can remember having a conversation with my mother, who had been brought up in the Roman Catholic faith. I knew that she always prayed in secret, so she thought. However, we had been watching something on the TV, a nature program, and the wondrous creations which were being shown. I made comment to her, "Man could not possibly have made this. This has to be an entity who'd made such beautiful creations. There is no way that it could be explained scientifically." To which Mum replied that I was correct. Scientists can explain a great deal through science, but even they cannot find an answer to certain phenomenon. Throughout my formative years, I went to church on and off with my parents, mostly at Easter and Christmas. Both parents had faith and believed in God. My father's parents were both Christians. When we resided in Highgate, North London, I received my christening from Father Fitzgerald, who was an Anglican priest, whom my parents knew very well. I had been caring for both my parents for quite some time. My mother passed on 25th of December 2019, and I found that I could not grieve properly as I had to look after my father. My father passed this year, 9th January 2024, at Torbay Hospital. After I had said my goodbye to him, I felt an urge to go and sit in the hospital chapel, which I did for at least 5 minutes or so. On the back of one of the pews, I found a card that had printed words of comfort, and they were the exact ones I needed there and then. I thank God for these words, and I still have this card, which I do read from time to time. In April of this year, Avril, who is stalwart of Upton Vale Baptist Church, invited me along to an Alpha course. I resisted at first, but then thought there would be no harm in attending. I was very low and was very lost. I was unable to analyse my feelings. My shoulders were hunched, and believe my entire demeanour was effectively closed down. I was on the same table as David Coffey and Di Shorto. I can remember Di asking me a question. I replied, "I don't like to talk about my feelings." There was dear Emma, who I was relieved to note, liked to talk, and I thought, phew, that got me out of that situation. However, as the weeks went by, I began to feel different. I began looking forward to seeing the other people at the Alpha course. By week 4, I had found I started to open up and felt very different. I felt bereft at the end of my first Alpha course, but excited, very nervous at attending church for the first time on a regular basis. That was when I decided I would love to be baptized. I'd come home. What a wonderful emotion. It filled me with a warmth I had not felt before. The power of prayer is real. I received evidence of this in recent weeks. I am more open, and my approach to everyday issues, whether personal or what happens in the world, has changed for the better. Since I've brought God back into my life, there has been an absolutely 100% change. I talk to Him every day about anything and everything. He understands me. Psalm 19:3 and Psalm 139. Hallelujah, Jesus has risen. He died for me so I could be set free.